Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Chi Chonglong shook his head. Bai Lian looked at the sky. Who was he? Is he really just a laborer? Don't be silly. The labor office gave us only one high venerable and is under the sect and ancestors' protection. How can it just give us another disciple even more monstrous? Lu Xia mocked. Bai Lian, you disdain the intersex politics and hole yourself in the elite area to train, so you don't know what has been going on. Sect leader brought this brat from the outside. He established the elite labor office and took away the intersex foundation. Your two grandfathers are on his side as well, and now the two sides are at war over the elite spots. Qi Feng and Yuchuan went and made a mess at the labor office at Venerable Shi's orders. This kid wasn't there at the time and the elders and venerables were in a meeting. That's why it worked. They thought that the kid was admitting defeat by announcing a banquet, but look at us now. You call this an apology? It's a killer feast. The labor office is out for blood. Lu Xia sighed. I wanted to notify the master about this, but that brat hit me so hard, I can't even move. Bai Lian and Chi Chonglong were stunned. Their two grandpas were on the kid's side, yet he was still so vicious to them? Then again, the guy didn't know them. Leaving them alive was already mercy enough. That cooled their jets. Bai Lian even felt safer knowing she was on that freak's side. Bringing him into the elite area and having him join the coming Double Dragon gathering would raise their hopes of coming out alive. A must-have godly teammate. Meanwhile, Zhuo Fan went to the apology banquet where all the guests were seated, be it invited or uninvited ones, all were bloody there. Why, one'd ask. To watch the show. Venerable Qi and Bai sat along with the labor office's oldies in a brooding silence. This had got to be the most humiliating situation even in their lives. The laborers weren't looking any better either. Since plenty of them were outer and inner disciples, they'd now come to regret their decision after being forced to endure such humiliation. In contrast, the audience was eager and thrilled to see this banquet blown sky high and to laugh at their misfortune. Who the hell told you to leave? And for what? A few baubles. Now look at you, no self-respect or dignity to speak of. As for the main guests of today's show, second and seventh elders, oblivious to their kin's gruesome demise, were smug to high heavens, sitting there all cocky. Next to them were the elite's guidance venerables, three fiends of hell, followed by Goe whose group of four. It had all started with them and they were now here to make a public apology. That was the reason for staying so close. Though their savage looks and stern faces seemed to say otherwise. Second and seventh elders got smugger the more they saw their bitterness. They were aiming for an explosive reaction, or how else could they finish them off? As for those intersect oldies, they looked on with cold attitudes, waiting for the smoking gun. The stage was set, the curtain raised, ready to drop it on labor office for good. Venerable Qi, Venerable Bai, we've been waiting for a while now. Let's start. Second elder looked around with a smile. Venerable Bai dismissed him. Steward Zhuo has yet to come. Steward Zhuo, a nobody laborer? Seventh elder mocked. Oh, how the elders and venerables of labor office have fallen, needing a disciple to tell them what to do. That explains this banquet. The intersex oldies joined him in laughter, despising and jeering the labor office's people. Now that the labor office had lost its dignity, its people were tasting the humiliation as well, making even inner disciples disdain them. They would have slapped them dead at any transgression before, while now, they had to stew in anger from having even these brats mock them. The humiliation was so heavy, they even came to regret defecting. Rotten Zhuo Fan, you've just lost all our dignity in one night. The labor office's oldies cried injustice and cursed Zhuo Fan. Venerable Qi was boiling with rage, yet said, Steward Zhuo established the elite labor office and sect leader appointed him as the head of this establishment. We must all obey him. The feast cannot start without him. As an apology banquet, he should cater to our needs and wants. Yet a mere laborer has set up this banquet and still makes us wait for him? He has no intent to make amends. We don't answer to labor office and don't have to follow your rules. If you still want to wait, that's your problem, but we are inner sect elders. Get the banquet started or we're leaving. Second elder slapped the table as the inner sect's oldies chimed in, there's no point to such a fake apology banquet. Let's just leave. We'll report this to the sect leader as well, for wasting our time. Venerable Qi and Bai shook their heads in defeat. Kuei Lang's group was getting angrier by the second. Only the three fiends of hell were trying to lighten the mood, with Fiend Yang recounting his revolutionary history and great deeds. People, if you find this boring, I shall recount our days in the Double Dragon Gathering while Steward Zhuo is away. In those days, four fiends of hell led the brave elites to the Double Dragon Gathering. Wait, hold, stop. We're not bored, not one bit. You don't have to enlighten us. Everyone cried before Fiend Yang got too much into it. Damn rotten Fiend Yang has brought up this story for 800 times already and still calls it some frickin' secret. There's no one more outrageous than him for sure. Fiend Yang sulked at their obvious refusal and drowned himself in wine. Fiend Gui and Fiendine chuckled. It was then that a disciple shouted, Steward Zhuo has arrived. All eyes turned towards the entrance of the valley. A thin figure skipped over, with a humble smile on his face as he lowered his head each time he met people. Sorry, I'm a little late. Second and seventh elders' eyes shone with disdain. Is this the guy that has the elite labor office in his grip? He might have shown power in the inner sect competition, but he won't get anything done without a backbone. He must be shaking in his boots to resort to such a humiliating banquet. Every oldie of the inner sect and even some of their disciples mocked him. While the labor office side's faces were burning red hot, from shame and remorse of being humiliated with this guy. Even so, they did find it strikingly odd how the ever-decisive and oh-so-wise Steward Zhuo had turned into a sap. Zhuo Fan sported the same warm smile all the way to the front table and bowed, many apologies. I got delayed and ask for your forgiveness. It's all good. All that matters is that we're all here. Fiend Yang hated Zhuo Fan's wimpy attitude but still mediated, one day elite labor office and inner sect shall be the pillars of demon scheming sect. We must put the past behind us. Sure we will. Second elder scoffed inside along with the seventh elder and they were both grinning from ear to ear. Second elder began with his standard humiliation, Zhuo Fan, you've arranged this apology banquet, yet you're the one coming last. Do you call that being sincere? You better make it up to us or you'll never hear the end of it. Aren't we all here? Why are you being so stubborn? Venerable Qi banged the table while the two elders bore the same jeering smile. They're about to pop. It's best if you start the whole mess. Seventh elder jibed, Venerable Qi, it is your side that has come up with the apology banquet for the wrongs you've done to us. So elite labor office better kowtow with sincerity for their mistakes. Do you have the right attitude? Why can't I feel an ounce of sincerity from you? We will not stand for this outrage and arrogance and we will go to the sect leader with this. Why you, Venerable Qi gnashed his teeth, ready to come to blows. Zhuo Fan dismissed the tense mood, now, Venerable Qi, please settle down. We're the ones in the wrong. Seventh elder is right, we need to be earnest in our apology. Please sit back down. Venerable Qi glared at him and wished to thrash the punk. Didn't you say it was their fault? Why is it that you are acting like it was our mistake? Those old coots were smug on having a good excuse and now they are after everything. There had never been a case where a grand venerable was shamed by mere elders. Sighing, Venerable Qi slumped in his chair, while Kuei Lang's group were fuming mad at Zhuo Fan. Who'd have thought Steward Zhuo would end up being such a coward in front of the elders? Their faith in Zhuo Fan was crushed, with the laborers hanging their heads in shame. This is taking the camp by defeating the general. The inner sect was laughing inside. Second elder nodded in appreciation, his grin so bright, Steward Zhuo, we can feel your sincerity, but the real offenders. Not to worry, they will definitely give the elders a sincere apology. Zhuo Fan caught on and turned to Kuei Lang's gang, don't just stand there, apologize. The four were shaking with outrage. Second elder grinned inside, that's the pig-headedness I wanted to see. And he made sure to add more fuel to the fire. Is this how you apologize? Humph, you better knock that forehead, and adulate us too. And maybe, just maybe, we'll buy it. Adulate your granny, you creep. Kuei Lang banged the table, but Zhuo Fan stopped him from rising. Zhuo Fan squinted. To be honest, it's all my fault. I should apologize, it is the whole purpose of this banquet. If elders wish for adulation, then that is what I shall offer.